It's AWTITUDE representing for Lion's Voice. Yes, massive. This is the time for I and I, the lion them to tell I and I story, our story. Yes, and we reign and rule like this. Reign and rule, yeah. Selassie, I reign and rule. You can't take the lion vibes, people. If you no fool, cause we know Selassie reign and rule. Reign and rule. Selassie, I reign and rule. Queen Omega drop them in the fire, pull from them, no Queen Omega, she reign and rule. Royal Kushite, ancient essence, Emperor Selassie in a majestical presence, flash of all sevens, projecting through I and I events. We sing a song for the king, we bring joy and blessing and overstanding, yeah. We hear Jah every day, reign and rule, yeah. Selassie, I reign and rule. Yes, I lion vibes, Selassie, I reign and rule. Attitude say that Boondocks, Black Organization of Global Diplomats optimizing expressions to the world.
Greetings, I'm Sister Aisha Diana Conwood, currently the Assistant Commissioner of Agriculture for the U.S. Virgin Islands. Time for the lioness to roar. You know, this is the lion's voice. Lioness, let's roar, lion pour. Ah!
A lot of time we move based on the information we have at the time. With Ras Tafari Independent Media, the information you are going to receive is going to be relevant to Ras Tafari, because a lot of time we're curating information from many different sources, but none of them are Ras Tafari sources. So yes, we may have an interest, but they're going to cover it from their worldview, from their bias. With Ras Tafari, we are extrapolating the facts. For example, when I look at the war in the Middle East, for example, what does this tell us? This tells us it's repatriation time. Another source is not going to tell you that. When this all of the war and thing, you're not going to get that aspect. You know what I mean? You're not going to get an interview with a brethren in a Ethiopia or in a Kenya or South Africa that's talking about, you know, what it's like to return, and all of that is coming on this platform. So Ras Tafari Independent Media is important because it allows us to make informed decisions. So the artists that we want to see, we just had Vibes Cartel release, you know what I mean, and the brethren, you know what I mean, is a brethren with sing about bleaching, all these things, and he's out there getting glorification. While we have so much Rastafari and positive artists that can't get no interview, nobody no interested because they're not dealing with certain vibes. And if they get an interview, them get 5 minutes, and nobody never asks them how them sight up His Majesty. Nobody don't care about their process for songwriting, why they write this song, why, you know what I mean? So we create a platform to market our own creatives, our own things that we value. So it's so crucial for us to be inward right now. I'm a Gideon.
Well, Lion Voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion Voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion Voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion Voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion Voice. Yeah, I'm a Gideon. Cataclysmic forces, good over evil. Yeah, for the ghetto youth, worldwide. I see the youths nowadays, they growing up. Wanna know the truth, they wanna know what's up. They got no fear now, they'll call you bluff. They asking questions cause they had enough. Why? Some gone astray cause times is tough. Some walk with the machine, ready to bust. I'ma give you when things get dangerous. Down in the ghetto, things get dangerous. On the battlefield, things get dangerous. Them carry RPG, M16. Got a problem to wipe out your whole team. For American dream, them get scanned and lost. Them put us into the ghetto, try abandon us. Cause we the remnant of the first sons of Kush. Warrior tribes, we not the ones that push. Just look into them history, see we rebellious. That's cause them systems so unjust. Take the shackles and chains, change them to handcuffs. Release your physical frame, them want your brain. Them a vampire looking for blood to drain. Haile, Selassie come and break every chain. Bob Marley, tell them, now we tell them again, yo. We tell them this ain't a game, but this a Armageddon, you got to mentally train. Yeah, I tell them this ain't a game, or this is heaven on earth, or go burn in the flames. Yeah, I tell them this ain't a game, I say I gotta play your hate, cause some things gotta change. I tell them this ain't a game, but this a time for African people to rise. I tell them, earthquake, hurricane.
Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of his chosen queen, Empress Waziri Menen. My name is Kwasi Bansu, aka the DEJAZMATCH Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Pan-African Happy Man, creative industry attorney. I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an actionist, and right now I am the host of the Lion Voice. Welcome to the Lion Voice Network, and welcome to the Lion's Voice, where the lions and the lionesses are telling our own story. Welcome to Ras Tafari Independent Non-Aligned Media, where we are taking a bold stand so that Rastafari worldview has a place in this digital streets, in these digital streets. You know what I mean? Big up Lion Pride on Patreon, Ubuntu, Lion Pride. We are here. If this is your first time watching, welcome. We've had a massive influx of new subscribers to the Lion Pride. We're very close to 3,000 subscribers now. So I want to welcome all of our new subscribers. We have a growing viewership in Ghana, West Africa. Big up yourself, all my Ghana family. Welcome. We are one of the fastest growing platforms right now within the Rastafari space. And for this, I am greatly thankful. So I said, you know what? It's time to really do an episode on Rastafari Independent Non-Aligned Media. The item I've heard I speak about it. You've heard I blog about it. But I think we need to go in depth about why it's important. So today we're going to talk about 3 reasons why Rastafari Independent Non-Aligned Media is critical for these times. As I'm speaking, we are waiting for a retaliatory strike from Iran and Hezbollah in the Middle East. You know, I blocked the sound on this platform months ago that World War III was underway, and so said, so done. We did not disappoint. Right now, as we are speaking, and I don't know what has happened since between the time I recorded and the time that the item are watching. However, we had 3 assassinations by Israel that took place, that were announced of high-ranking officials, and we have Iran sending a threat. On this very platform, I told you World War III was going to take place. I wrote down the whole Middle East situation. Let I know if you want more content like that. We're going to do some of that on the Patreon, because the censorship on YouTube is real, family. We have 1 strike against the channel. If you're new here, we did a episode touching on COVID and the vaccine, and the man them strike with channel. We were suspended for a whole strong 7 days. So anything when we go deep into what's taking place, the realness, that's gonna be available exclusively on the Patreon. But it's preparation time, and this is one of the reasons why Rastafari Independent Non-Aligned Media is so crucial right now, because it's not gonna be business as usual, family. I don't know how the item cite this war in the Middle East and this war, the land war in Europe with Ukraine, where over 500,000 Ukrainians have lost their lives uselessly in this war. This war in Israel is going to be massive war. Iran is likely going to flood them with some drones, little more. Israel are going to fire back. America sent 12 battleships around it. A mere things, but why is it important? The Straits of Hormuz, this is where most of the oil and thing come out of that region. A lot of global trade, so that means that the price of everything is going to be going up. I was on a call. Let me big up Osa Seba out of Jamaica. If you haven't seen our Hurricane Barrel episode and the powerful work that Osa Seba is doing in terms of philanthropy in Jamaica, go check out that episode. But I tell the item, say right now, we're going to need each other. So this is why Ras Tafari Independent Media is so important, because we have that responsibility. And my guest on Wednesday, we're going to have one of the rising platforms, Dreadlocks, the article Dreadlocks iYard Radio. We're going to have him here Wednesday on our live. So be sure to tune in. We're going to be talking about Ras Tafari Independent, non-aligned media, and the importance. I've been reaching out to different ones-on-ones. So behind the scenes, just trying to rally, organize, and centralize. Big up the Association of Rastafari Creatives, ARC. The item will know if you're new. We have the Association of Rastafari Creatives. It was an organization that was established during COVID. During the COVID, I'm also one of the founders of the Jamaica Music Conference. And while I was doing this conference in Jamaica, I realized, I'm seeing Rasses around the place, but we don't have any entity or any type of reasoning that we're coming together separately to take care of our affairs and make sure that the music and the creativity that we're doing is benefiting our community, and we're doing some collective work. So I reached out to brethren and sisters that I know, and we were able to establish the Association of Rastafari Creatives. So big up ARC. Big up ARC. So we've been using ARC to really help to centralize. We formed a filmmaker network through ARC. We're now in the process of creating a independent media network facilitated through ARC. Also want to just acknowledge we have ARC first ever virtual summer enrichment for the youth then coming up, starting shortly, and put up the flyer there so the item can see. And I'm going to bring on some of the instructors. We're going to be talking about this, so you'll be hearing more about the works of ARC and how one can plug into the ARC network, because we have to increase everything that we're doing right now. It's not the time to scatter, it's the time for us to really consolidate, get our act together. Self-reliance. No one is coming to save us. If the item know I content the I will know I block this sound repeatedly, because I want us to get it through our heads. A lot of us are just sitting and watching. Maybe they're watching Lion Voice and say, maybe this brethren are going to fail. Let me see how long him are going to keep it up. That's not going to happen, family, because we know what we're doing. This is just the first phase of the Lion Voice Network. The vision is massive, extensive. We're going to be going into animation, blockbuster, documentary. I'm a content creator myself. I'm an artist. So this is right in line with my passion. So I'm called to do this work. And what His Majesty revealed to I is just that, we have to control the platform. based on the information and knowledge. You won't always maybe see I in front of the camera like this. We would love to be able to scale higher ones to do these broadcasts. We want to have a news program where we're bringing Rastafari news from all over the world with a anchor. And just like you have news program, people discussing the things, all of these things is part of the vision. And I can share the vision, even though you might have ones with money who can try to jump to the gun and boom, boom, and get out in the marketplace, because that's always a risk. However, I know what I bring to the table, and I have a superpower, and my superpower is I network. The network is extensive. I haven't even scratched the surface. Family, you know how much family may have out there that I have not interviewed yet. Do the item know how much interview may have put on that I need to edit to put up? The thing is massive and extensive, and we're just getting started. And this is why you hear I pushing the Patreon and the ones who invest. That's why I don't stop big them up. Big up Empress Danielle. She became a member of the Lion Pride and Patreon some time ago. She don't leave I and I out. So big up Empress Danielle. I'm gonna be bigging up my Lion Pride and Patreon sister Zana. Dr. Walete is part of our Patreon. So many Joshai, Freeway Dread, and it goes up and down. People come in, sometimes the money's not there, and card get declined, them come forward again. You know what I mean? All of this, we're battling, we're a family. So if you're concerned, boy, sometime have it, join the Patreon, and we work it out. If you have to drop off our time and come forward, the strength is appreciated, love. There's no shame, because again, we're gonna get into why supporting these type of platforms are so important. Yes, family, and we cannot forget the comment of the strong. This comment is from ZG Chapel. That's I family. Ras Kip Ezekiel from out of Ethiopia, from the holy mountains of Zion, commenting on the episode, the live that we did with Kadamawi Knife and Dr. Santua. Powerful, but the item can see here the support. And remember, comment, that helps the push out the content on the algorithm. So Lion Pride in particular, I know the item love the works and want help I to push out the work. So the greatest way you can help, if you cannot join the Patreon immediately with the economic strength, is just by watching the videos. The watch time is important, and also by liking the video and also leaving a comment. And let's start a new trend. Just drop where you're watching from, so we can see the different regions. We need to build community right now in Armageddon. Drop a comment, tell us where you're watching from, and let's make that part of our Lion Pride culture when we tune in. Just check in and make we know what part of creation you're calling in from. But big up ZG Chapel for the comment, and we encourage all Lion Pride family to comment on the videos that make we know say you're living, you're breathing. ISIS. And then I want to big up and brother Ija Star, who have also a platform. I see also launch a Patreon, and the brethren reason I recommend. Also, I'm going to be starting to do more consultations. I do consultations. You can go on the website and book a consultation, creative consultation. But I want to focus on this platform, and I'm going to, as we develop the platform, we want to share, because we want others to rise their platform. So I'm going to be doing creative consultations. Big up I Never Knew TV, Brethren Junior, as High and I services multiple times, and I give thanks because the brethren is building an empire. I look up to that brethren to see how he has really structured as a young brethren out there that really is doing what I want to do on a major scale. Full time dealing with it. He has a conference coming up. We're going to bring him on the platform to talk about his conference, holistic health conference. It's going to be massive. So we'll bring him forward to talk about that. So much connection. But we have to support each other. Again, no one is coming to save I family. I keep saying this because it's so crucial. The Gideon is upon us and we are not fully prepared. Big up RMO. Again, House of Seba, we're having those discussions now about storehouses. Creating a listing of emergency goods. So if you're watching wherever you're watching with your brethren and sisters where you link with, instead of you just link up and bun chalice, make sure you link up and talk about, yeah man, we'll store some dried peas, we'll go store some toilet paper, we'll go get some the essentials where we need, and make sure we have a central area where we can access this, or if anyone get into problems, because again, it's likely that the prices of everything is going to increase significantly as war takes over the earth. It's going to get rough. We have great instability even here in America with the election, where it look like it's a reality TV show we watch. Nowhere is safe right now upon creation. Everywhere need to prepare because it's a rocky road for a time. And this we use this to set the table for this conversation about the importance of Ras Tafari Independent non-aligned media. Before I go into that, big up Ras LIDJ, Ramia King Design. You see me I sip the water, I sip from Ramia King Design. Big up CMAS Life, Ras Wooley, all of the sponsors. Rastafari businesses again who invest in the platform, partner with the platform, so that the whole of we rise together. Big up yourself. And the item say the thing will work. We're growing. We've never stopped growing, but we've pressed gas, and the growth is self-evident. Again, we're about to hit 3,000 subscribers, and that's because of the item who are watching the Lion Pride. Big up on yourself every time. So we're just asking ones again, become a part of the Lion Pride on Patreon. $10, $25. Big up all of my $25 Lion Pride members. We have about 3 members at that level, the $25 level. Which if you divide 25 by 4, every strong, it's not no massive amount of money for a month to give 25, but I really give thanks for the $25 member. We want more of them, if we can get 100. And let me say, initially we had set a goal of 1,000 people in the Patreon by Ethiopian New Year. I'm on record saying that, so we can run from that. I'm going to revise that. We want to try revise that down to 100. We have to be realistic with our goals, and see it, honestly. Although I think we'll hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2024. I think that's just based on how the thing will go on. But we let us revise. So I want 100 brethren and sisters out there to join us in the Lion Pride on Patreon. You get exclusive access to the interviews first. So when we have the interviews, we have Jalifa right now. We just dropped the full Jalifa interview.
And there's something sweet. Black it is my everything, the features and the color of my skin. Me not gonna show when me blackness and except bleaching. Me love me African, well me not wear no weaving. So what literary your secret hiding? Black it is by everything, the features and the color of my skin. Me not gonna show when me blackness and it's a bleaching. Me love me African, will me not wear no weaving. So what Victoria secret hiding? Something to get me bald before me love start grow. Me black beautiful skin in all the press like snow. A lioness, me ain't a lioness, no matter where me go. Me not go bleach up me skin just like the free called Jacko. You must be mad. Certain distance me not go because me got a lot of dough. Me not go replace me toe. Some girl act like them perfect with counterfeit glow. Check out the body look pop them when them take life out. Black it is by everything, the features and the color of my skin. Me not go dash away me blackness and it's a bleach. And me love me African. Me no wear no weave and so what Victoria secret hiding. My you get could have been a sunny lion talk already. My you get could have been a sunny lion talk born ready pon him face, none smile him, no laugher. Full suit a khaki pon him feet, bubble sander. Broom, done ready for the chaff, ya. Chat na ya bingy word sound and lava. Groundation, don't set nothing after. So we not go join politician and Carter, you mad? Ras Tafari is the highest of order. So we not go ponder fi put it on paper to say, my youth could have rain or sunny lion talk already.
And also big up, you know, we got over 1,000 views on our Norseman, over 1,000 views on the Queen Omega. So people are watch things that go out there. Micah Shamaya is on the road right now. The numbers are climbing. Jalifa we just dropped the first clip from Ras Attitude, and we have so much more interviews that we're gonna drop. And if you are a part of the Lion Pride on Patreon, they get to see the full episode. You know, we drop the clips first. They get to see the full episode from it drop. From the first clip drop, that means the Patreon don't get the fullness already. So this is what we're doing. We are creating our ecosystem again for support. We also have the music. If you love the music, at the beginning of the videos, the ending of the video, the unreleased music that I have, I put them up on the Patreon, that the Patreon family can sip up the whole song. So by the time I get ready for unleash the artist pan creation, they will be, you know what I mean, my Patreon don't know all of the song them, you know. Also, as I speak right now, I'm performing at Watermelon Day. Big up Bomani Arma. We're gonna bring forward Baba Bomani, Mr. Read a Book. You can look at that interview we did with the brethren from earlier. We've been talking. We're getting ready to bring forward our podcast, Mix and Master. We had a Pan-African podcast. We're getting ready to bring it forward. So stay tuned. We have Wooly coming. But yes, join us. 100 Fire Angels. We're looking forward to join us in the Patreon. We have 14 right now. 14 people in the Patreon, down from 18. $5 is all you need. And let me not fail to acknowledge our free Patreon members. I'm going to drop a podcast for our free Patreon members as well. And it's important, if you can't join right away, you don't have the money right away, join the Patreon as a free member, so that we have your email and we can send you the newsletter. We can still interact with you. If we get kicked off of YouTube or anything happens, we still have you in our Patreon ecosystem. So join us. Big up all of the free members. Can't forget to big them up because they made the extra step to join. All right, so housekeeping out of the way. Why should people join the Patreon? Why Ras Tafari Independent, non-aligned media important? All right. Number one is independent media. And when I say independent, we're looking at the crowd-funded model. You know what I mean? That's the business model. Anything that you do on a high level has to have funding. Either we're going to go after sponsorship, which means you're depending on businesses, private businesses, to come in and advertise based on the amount of subscribers that you have. Um, I decided that's not the best route. Why? Because you get one or two big sponsors, and then when the sponsor say, "Boy, you know, say me never like the direction where you take that reason," and then if you don't listen to that sponsor, they're free to withdraw their money. By that time, you may have a staff, you may be paying an editor, you may be doing this, that, and now your whole thing crash. If you have the audience itself that you're serving is the one that's funding the enterprise, then that's the most secure that you will be. Yes, you will lose some people sometime because you might mash a corn, you touch a topic where sensitive to a man, but you have the whole collective there still funding you, and you have more grace to serve your community and not the wishes of those private sponsors. And guess what? Once you have that loyal audience, you will still get the big sponsor then to come in, but you have to have your foundation, because without that foundation, which is your audience, that crowdfunding, you're going to be very vulnerable to the sponsors then. You understand? All right. So we're gonna talk about why it's important. So again, number one, informed decisions. You know what I mean? A lot of time we move based on the information we have at the time. With Rastafari Independent Media, the information you are going to receive is going to be relevant to Rastafari, because a lot of time we're curating information from many different sources, but none of them are Rastafari sources. So yes, we may have an interest, but they're going to cover it from their worldview, from their bias. With Rastafari, we are extrapolating the facts. For example, when I look at the war in the Middle East, for example, what does this tell us? This tells us it's repatriation time. Another source is not going to tell you that. When this all of the war and thing, you're not going to get that aspect. You know what I mean? You're not going to get an interview with a brethren in a Ethiopia or in a Kenya or South Africa that's talking about, what it's like to return, and all of that is coming on this platform. So Rastafari Independent Media is important because it allows us to make informed decisions. I bring the top minds in Rastafari, the workers from all over the earth on this platform on Lion Talk and Lion Talk Live. And that's intentional because, yes, we love our artists and, the singers and players of instruments. Great is the company that published the word. But that's not the whole of Rastafari. Rastafari things vast. We have farmers, we have craftspeople, we have architects, we have engineers, we have attorneys, we have doctors. You name the profession Rastafari, you have Rastafari one. Professors, doctors of this, that. I have the most doctors, doctorate degree Rastafari interviews of any platform in the world. I have the most Rastafari sistering voices of any Rastafari platform in the world. So again, this is the benefit of Rastafari Independent Non-Aligned Media, is that there are no other platforms that want to interview I and to go in depth. And even if they interview I, they don't want to spend 20 minutes on Empress Menen and what Empress Menen was doing in 1911. We did that last year. You understand? So our thing different. They not like us. They not like us. For the young people then. You see what I'm saying? We're on a cutting edge with that too. And those kind of things get my children. They don't like when they go cutting edge on them. All right. Number two is with Rastafari Independent Media. We are cultivating an audience that is looking for Rastafari related content. That means that it's a platform that we can use for marketing. This is why you see ones like Ramia King of Zion, my brethren Ras himself, you know what I mean? I'm paying my tithes, I'm growing with the eye. We dip on the battlefield with the eye because they know that as the platform grow and Rastafari dollar, and we create this culture where we circulate the Rastafari dollar, then of course you're going to be benefiting by getting your products and services in front of an audience that is looking for those products and services or is looking to empower and serve Rastafari ones. But if we don't have our own media, our own independent, non-aligned media, we're not going to have that, or we have to rely on third-party platforms where the people them might tolerate Rastafari, but they're not looking for Rastafari. There's a big difference. So we're cultivating a platform where people are looking for Rastafari content. They know that is what they're coming. We're holding a niche. That's why we branded it Rastafari Independent, non-aligned media. So we create a marketing platform for I and I to support each other. The guests, when they come on here and they can talk about what they're doing, we're creating a funnel where people can come, and I get phone calls. I know that it's working because I get phone calls from ones who are connecting workers from one region. I want to link with that one day. I will link them, you know what I mean? And things that happen behind the scenes. And this is possible because we're out there. The platform is there because other than that, most of us are living hand to mouth and surviving. But we can take some time, we watch the Lion Voice and look there. We learn about someone who's doing something remarkable in a space. So that in and of itself is an important thing. Why one should support and be a part of this history, you know, because Rastafari has never had a platform like this. And for the ones who want to be part of that first 100, and we're going to do something special to memorialize the first 100 people that we have. Once we hit that 100 mark, we're going to record everybody who's there, and we're going to do something special. So even when the channel become multi-million-dollar platform and doing all of these wonderful things, that 100 will be immortalized. So become part of that vibration, and again reach that audience, because as the subscribers grow, this is when sponsors now become interested. Why? Because they want to have access to those people, and it's not just about the subscribers, it's about engagement. You know, we want an engaged audience. This is why you see I put up the comment that is strong. This is why, you know, we respond in the comments. We have reasonings in the comment section. We encourage ones to comment, to put where they're from, to boost the algorithm, because we want an engaged audience. But that's another great reasoning, is again having a marketing. Also, the artists that we want to see, we just had Vibes Cartel release, you know what I mean, and the brethren, you know what I mean, is a brethren with sing about bleaching, all these things, and he's out there getting glorification, while we have so much Rastafari and positive artists that can't get no interview, nobody no interested because they're not dealing with certain vibes, and if they get an interview, them get 5 minutes, and nobody never asks them how them sight of His Majesty. Nobody don't care about their process for songwriting, why they write this song, what, you know what I mean. So we create a platform to market our own creatives, our own things that we value. So it's so crucial for us to be inward right now. I'm a Gideon. Time to go inward, family. Number 3 and Number 3 is we are bringing information not available on any other media platform. What other media platform told you that House of Seba went to Portland Cottage to deliver food, clothes, and cash to the residents that were battered by Hurricane Beryl? Lion Voice Network tell you that. Which network tell you about Ras Negos arrested and Ras Jabali arrested and one's gone up to the courthouse and bring you the footage from the courthouse? A Lion Voice Network do that. A lot of the different things that we're doing, talking about Empress Men and Rising, talking about the Blue Fire, and what the Blue Fire sister and them doing, Rastafari Independent, non-aligned media, is bringing. And the independent again means that we're not beholden to any sponsor, any government. The non-aligned meaning we're not just bringing you Naya Bingi Brethren. We have Naya Bingi Brethren black. We're not just bringing you Bobo Shanti Brethren. We have Bobo Shanti Brethren that black. We're not just bringing you 12 tribe brethren. We have 12 tribe brethren. We're black up on the channel. So this is a platform for all Rastafari, peacemaker. We're going to bring all of the different family on the platform to talk about what they are doing and what they're all about. And this is so crucial for us as a family. Marcus Garvey used the media to build the UNIA, to build the largest movement. The Lion Voice Network. That is what we're all about. And this whole concept of the building of Zion, this is one of the reasons that I built the network, is because we're not having enough conversations about the future. And this is why we're losing the youths, you know what I mean? Look at Black Panther and Wakanda, how it dazzled people. And these are things that we as Rastafari had talked about when I was a young Ras, talking about building this utopia, paradise on the continent of Africa, turning slums into gardens. We sing about it, and I sang them, you know what I mean? Ghettos to gardens, garrisons to gardens. This is the mandate, you know what I mean? Taking the future, you know what I mean? Solar panel, all them thing there. Natural with nature, harnessing the power of nature, living in harmony with nature, natural frequency, but also utilizing the latest technology. This is what His Majesty was doing in Ethiopia. I just watched a video of what's going on in China right now. Some serious development are going on in China. We hear about the Chinese cities with the pollution and all these things. They're moving past that stage. They polluted themselves, their cities and their rivers and these things, because they had they had an industrial revolution, fast track, but now they're gone to solar, green energy. The cities that used to have smog and you couldn't breathe, they have clear skies now because them start convert. They have no crime in most of their cities, no trash on the road. Now it's a totalitarian communist regime, and they probably catch you with a spliff and you'll get the death sentence. So me now tell you that China is the best place in the world for I and I. But I'm just saying it's a model of how things can be different than how things are structured in this current Western paradigm. And this is I and I charge. We are the generation that see the face of the Most High, that been charged to create the alternative as Babylon crumbles. What are we building for our young people, for our youth to inhabit? Are we sending them into the same corruption, or are we building? And this is what the media is there to do, is to cultivate this discussion, to broadcast, to show it. I'm going to be putting out an interview. I just reached with my brethren Bingisha, and I have the interview in the archive. We're going to be bringing exclusive footage of Kazi, which is a proof of concept of what we can build completely off of the grid. Food forest, all kind of something, science lab, all type of something where we can build as Rastafari in terms of educational facilities, in terms of residential facilities. There's no limit. And this is the work that we have to do and that we will do while the rest of the world is at war, while the killing is happening. The alternative to death and destruction is building. And that is what we've been called to do. We have not been called to war. That's why I don't out there stockpile weapons when if we were conventional Pan-Africanists and these things, we would be stockpiling weapon right now. May I tell you, if I was planning to be here in America per long, we would have stockpiled weapon because that's what's going on earth right now is wild, wild west business getting ready for broke out. You know what I mean? I that is not I work right now, and I destiny as servants of the Most High. I destiny is to make the great return and to contribute to the building of the African continent. Africa await our creators and creation. We are the obedient sons and daughters of Kadamawi Haile Selassie the first. That's why I'm not argue when you meet a man and say he's a Rastafari and he's not upon repatriation. I don't argue with that man. I don't argue with that man or with that woman. The most Muda says, what are you gonna do here? Maybe we can find a way to do some trade or some exchange. But I'm not spending time. What right now we're seeking like minds. That is the name of the game, and that is what I want to do with the Lion Pride on Patreon. So this first 100 that we get in the Patreon, again, this is going to be the core of the platform. And we're going to do mighty works because once the platform is economically viable, of course, Lion Voice will be sponsoring events. One of the big problems, and that's number 4, why Rastafari Independent Non-Aligned Media is important is that we need entities that can sponsor our events. We have events and they're not interesting to alcohol company. They're not interested to this other company because why are they going to broadcast our message, which is probably going to move people away from the lifestyle that will cause them to consume a lot of the products in Babylon. So we have to have our own media platforms that will sponsor our own events, our own festivals and things. And in return, when Lion Voice Network sponsor an event, then guess what? We would go there and we would cover the event and give the event coverage and footage and these things. So it's a symbiotic relationship. But to sponsor the event, the entity have to have money and resources. And if we have the crowd funding, then we would redirect those funds to strengthen our own community. So it's very crucial. 5, these are bonus. I was planning to do 3, but as I'm reasoning, there's so many reasons why Rastafari Independent Media is important. But while I'm reasoning, is number 5 is collective security. When we have all of our media working together, then we control our narrative. And the tagline, as the item know, is that the time has come for the lions to tell our own story. And this comes from the African proverb that until the lion writes its own story, the hunt will always glorify the hunter. So we have to control the narrative. The narrative about us so far is that we smoke ganja and we love reggae music. That is not our narrative that we know of ourselves. We are the sons and daughters of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the First. We are brilliant scholars, builders, frontline soldiers, educators, and we need to tell our own story. We need to highlight our glory. We need to rise the physical institutions and structures and inspire the youths them to greatness. That is us. And Rastafari Independent Media is at the forefront of making that happen. When we create these animated films, these blockbuster films, when we write these books, we need a media that is interested to cover it and broadcast it to a curated audience that is looking again for Rastafari content. So these are the reasons. If it makes sense, drop a comment. If a foolishness may talk, drop a comment. Let us know how you feel. We need engagement, not just subscription. So big up all of the new subscribers again. We're growing at a fast rate now. Um, and we'll talk about that in the Patreon, some of the things that we're implementing on the channel that has helped us to pick up the growth rate. We study these things. We're not just up here we're forever students. So we're always going to be refining and things. So if you want to know what we're doing, again, join us in the Patreon. We're going to be building each other. In the Patreon, I've created a common community channel. So once you're in there, you'll have access to that channel. Any questions you want to ask of anything, that is and you can ask the Lion Pride on Patreon. They get quick access. It's hard to reach I sometimes because of so many works that I do. I sit on several boards. We have deliverables all of the time. But if you want to have direct access, the Patreon is the best way to access I and the brain trust that we have. That is the best way is in the Patreon. So again, we are headed for 100 Lion Pride on Patreon before September 11th. That is the aim and the objective. We had set a goal of 1,000. We're not gonna reach that. It's very likely. I mean, anything is possible still. We could still hit that 1,000 because, especially with the growth we're having now, and His Majesty just touched the hearts and people flood in. But I have to be realistic, His Majesty was realistic in revised plan, in make plan, and in revised plan, and we have to do the same. So we're revising it down from 1,000 to 100. We're asking 100 fire angels out there because at least 100 people watch each of these videos. We're asking 100 fire angels join us in the Patreon, $5, $10, $25 level. Big up the $25 Patreon members. Join and support. Help us to build, help us to scale, help us to realize the vision. It will happen. The question is, will the IDEM be a part of that uprising? Because it will happen, and it's happening. And again, we give thanks to everyone who's helping to make it happen. But just ask, will you be part of that historic 100 that will be immortalized as the ones who really helped rise up Rastafari Independent, non-aligned media? When we get a physical building, we'll probably have a wall with everybody's name on it. We'll do something. I don't know what we are going to do, but I guarantee we'll do something to immortalize those 100, first 100 people, to be in the Patreon for an extended period. So if you just come in and you drop out, I can't guarantee. But for those who are there, once we hit that 100, I'm going to, take a snapshot and we'll immortalize everybody who's in there at the point where we hit the 100 patron mark. All right. So that is the episode. We just wanted to really get deep into this whole concept of Rastafari independent, non-aligned media and the importance, because we hear shouting it out in every episode, but we want to give it some detail. Tune in this Wednesday. We have Redlocks, the article Dreadlocks, and next brethren who is rising Rastafari independent, non-aligned media. We have also an exclusive interview with Honorable Prophet Isaac that will be going up exclusively for the Patreon, where we reason he's one of the largest platforms here on YouTube. Big up Tiger's Nest and the man them. We also have an exclusive interview with Star that will be available for the family. We are connecting. I've been reasoning with different ones. I've had the honor of reasoning with ones like Mutabaruka, like The ones on Best FM. You know, Best FM is a Rastafari owned radio station in Jamaica. We're going to be doing some different things with Rastafari Independent Media, bringing together some of the major players who are out there. Big up Honorable Priest Kailash as a platform. We have so many who are doing powerful things. Ras Iron. I miss people. Once you start calling names, you're going to miss people. But just know that we are reaching out. As I identify the platforms, we're reaching out. We're creating that collective, using the association of Rastafari Creatives Arc as the banner. We are centralizing our media resources, preparing so that we can properly inform I family globally during this Armageddon hour. But it's real, family. As we say, make your preparation, store food, water, make sure you have these things prepared. The Western world is plunging us into darkness of war. It is here, it's upon us, and we are going to continue to rise to the occasion. Why? Because the time has come for the lions to tell our own story. And this is the Lion's Voice.
Yeah, I'm a Gideon. Cataclysmic forces, good over evil. Yeah, for the ghetto youth, worldwide. Yeah. I see the youths nowadays, they growing up. Wanna know the truth, they wanna know what's up. They got no fear now, they'll call you bluff. They asking questions cause they had enough. Why? Some gone astray cause times is tough. Some walk with the machine, ready to bust. Armageddon things get dangerous. Down in the ghetto things get dangerous. On the battlefield things get dangerous. Them carry RPG, M16. Got a problem to wipe out your whole team. For American dream, them get scanned and lost. And put us into the ghetto, try abandon us. Cause we the remnant of the first sons of Kush. Warrior tribes, we not the ones to push. Just look into them history, see we rebellious. That's cause them systems so unjust. Take the shackles and chains, change them to handcuffs. Release your physical frame, them want your brain. Them a vampire looking for blood to drain. Haile, Selassie come and break every chain. Bob Marley, tell them, now we tell them again, yo. We tell them this ain't a game, but this a Armageddon, you got to mentally train. Yeah, I tell them this ain't a game, but this is heaven on earth, or go burn in the flames. Yeah, I tell them this ain't a game, I say I gotta play your hate cause some things gotta change. I tell them this ain't a game, but this a time for African people to rise. I tell them, earthquake, hurricane, tornado, the wind blows and bring the rains. I got the whole west coast in flames, melt the Arctic poles and flood the seas. Hurricane force winds blow down the trees. Whole earth feel the pain when the bombs release. Read your psalms, release David prophecies. Marcus Garvey said look to the east. Rastafari is the prince of peace. And Haile Selassie, I come conquer the peace, yo. They trap the youths with them luxuries to get the ladies. Gotta drive Mercedes, people killing babies, try to keep us down with AIDS. We descended from kings, now we surround with plague. Man, I kill them brother, man, to drive the Escalades. I can't stand Babylon and all the mess they made. Teach the youths that them best when them rests in the grave. Wolf trick the lion, got the lion a shade. Can't reach Mount Zion unless you learn to behave. Got to stand firm cause these is perilous days. I tell them, we tell them this ain't a game, but this a Armageddon, you got to mentally train. Yeah, I tell them this ain't a game, but this is heaven on earth, or go burn in the flames. Yeah, I tell them this ain't a game, I say I gotta play your hate cause some things gotta change. I tell them this ain't a game, but this a time for African people to rise. I tell them, hey yo, I gotta play your hate, I gotta tell these players now's not the time to play.